Okay, so we are going to jump right into this. It is possibly a very taboo or somewhat taboo subject, but we are going to talk about narcissistic mothers and their children, namely their male sons. And a narcissistic mother, they may be enmeshed and obsessed with their son in a manner that is flattering and falsely empowering, or critical and shaming, and sometimes both. Alternatively, she can be physically neglectful at times, wrapped up in a swirl of her own conjured up psychodramas, and in an insidious betrayal. She can also be emotionally neglectful, invalidating, dismissing, and God only knows what else, her children's needs and their pain in plain sight. As narcissistic mothers, they cannot tolerate emotional distress, and as a result, they project their shame and their discomfort onto everyone around them, including their children and especially their sons. And they see their children as extensions of themselves. And sons, males often report, and daughters too, that they feel used, they feel chewed up, enmeshed, engulfed by their needs, by the mom's expectations, and while simultaneously still vying for their approval, for her approval, and striving to avoid letting her down. And narcissistic mothers, they are wildly insecure, prone to rage, volatile, and in their temperament, and they easily take offense. They personalize even the slightest modicum of dissent, and they have often collapsed or non existent boundaries, with pockets of rigid withholding baked into intermittently threatened efforts to invalidate. And narcissistic mothers, they often actively suppress any steps that their child, especially their son, will take to be their own person. And if it does not align with what the man, his mother, needs him to be to sustain her fragile sense of self. Okay, so from him, you are going to see guilt and obligation, and with mom and with you, and they may overpromise and underdeliver. As loyalty blinds, they will overprotect their mother, hesitance to introduce you to their mother, as you may feel like the other woman almost. And there's this patronizing and placating behavior that is towards you, a very passive aggressive demeanor. There is womanizing, eroticized rage that haunts the son, and you may feel as if if he has an axe to grind with women, almost in a misogynist type way. And remember that his mother used him, so he was shown how to objectify by a woman, and he may be more prone to sex addiction or affairs, or in this unconscious attempt to express his anger towards his mother. So emotionally unavailable and avoidant attachment styles, they often form when a parent is engulfing and they have poor boundaries, and this is all what a narcissistic mother is known to be. So difficulty with commitment, and struggles with self-esteem, perfectionist, concerned about appearances and impression management, sensitive to any kind of invalidation or criticism, and worries that his fears and needs may scare you away. And remember that his needs were not seen, met, or tolerated by his mother, and he learned how to get some relational needs met by subjugating his needs and staying close within the character mold that his mother provided for him, and he may struggle with authenticity and vulnerability as a result. Loving a man with a narcissistic mother can be challenging, if not impossible. They often have big hearts, though they may struggle with intimacy and emotional availability. Much depends on his mother's symptoms, actually, and his mother's emotional availability, and at times. And much depends, like I said, on the severity of his mother's symptoms, her own self awareness, and his wounds. They may not be easy to spot. They're likely layered, and they are likely overprotective of their mother, and they crave this mother's validation. They feel the need to save their mother from their own fragility, and they have a difficult time managing their feelings of guilt when dating. So when dating, or when getting into relationships, when dating a man with a narcissistic mother, there are a few things that you will absolutely encounter or expect to observe.